Hey, podcast listeners, Jordan River here. Quick reminder, join our giveaway. We've got a new giveaway at growcastpodcast.com/giveaway. This one's a little bit different. Greencraft Distribution, the online hydro superstore, is giving away $50 gift certificates. I believe 5 of them. So 5 of you guys are going to go on a little shopping spree. growcastpodcast.com/giveaway for $50 worth of Greencraft Distribution bucks. I knew you guys would appreciate that. Membership for mygrowpass.com opening June 22nd through July 9th. That's when we'll be accepting new members. We have a ton of podcast episodes from the member podcast, ad-free. We have archived episodes of Growcast from years past. Live streams, giveaways, discounts, everything, mygrowpass.com. It's opening, folks, on the 22nd. Mark your calendars. Also, make sure to take advantage of our Dino Myco promotion. You can get a sample of Dino Myco just by paying shipping. I think it's like $6. Go to growcastpodcast.com/dinosample /DYNOSAMPLE. Today's episode of Growcast is a long-awaited one. It's with Rasta Jeff from Irie Genetics and Grow From Your Heart. So I know a lot of you have been waiting for this for a long time. I have as well. Jeff is awesome. We had a great show. I really look forward to collabing with this guy. I think the reason it didn't happen sooner and won't happen as much as we'd like is because we're both just really, really busy. But we finally made time, and it's a fantastic episode. I know you're going to absolutely love what Jeff brings to the table today. Before we begin Jeff's episode, though, shout out to Sohum Soils, sohumsoils.com. Promo code GROWCAST10 for 10% off. MyGrowPass.com members getting 20% off for just a limited time. Sohum is discontinuing their partnership with us just because it's come to that time. No other reason. We still love Sohum. They still love us, but all good things must come to an end, and we do switch out our vendor partners. So take advantage of the Sohum Soils discounts while you can. Sohum Soils is a great option for super soils mailed right to your door. It was specifically formulated to give the plant enough food for the entire life cycle just by adding water. No need to pH or anything. The soil is designed with beneficial bacteria and fungus, as well as all the macro and micronutrients that your plant needs. Set it and forget it. It's that easy. Sohum Soils, leading the industry in super soils. SohumSoils.com, GrowCast10 for 10% off. MyGrowPass.com, getting 20% off just for a short time, like I said. Thank you to Sohum Soils. We do enjoy our partnership while it lasted and continue to love that company. That company. All right, everyone, let's get into the show with Rasta Jeff. Enjoy it. Thanks for listening. Hello, growers from around the world, and thank you for tuning in to Growcast today. Jordan River here with another episode. It's a very special episode today, actually. Before we jump into today's podcast, please share Growcast with a friend, with a grower, with a smoker. Check out the Homegrown Helpers by Rob Smith for more growing talk. And make sure to subscribe to the Coffee, Health, and Science podcast, my other show where we're having so much fun. Like I said, today's episode is special. A bit of a crossover podcast. So excited to have from the Grow From Your Heart podcast and from Irie Genetics, we have Irie Jeff himself. What's up, Jeff? How are you doing, my friend?
I am great, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course. So glad to have you. How's it going in your world of media and growing and breeding and everything?
My world is great. Growing is amazing. Breeding is amazing. If I sound a little bit sniffly today, that's because I was playing in a room with a male plant. I just took a bunch of wonderful pictures of a male who is dumping pollen. So the breeding is going well. I'm doing a project. It's you might hear it a little bit in the show. That's from the pollen. I have got a Jack the Ripper male from Subcool in a breeding room, and it is dumping pollen. The females are just about ready to receive that pollen. So there will be some Jack the Ripper to some Irie Genetics crosses available in the future. Doing a little bit of work for my buddy Subcool.
Love that, man. R.I.P. That's really great. Jack Herrera, interesting strain. I'm such a fan of the crosses that it makes.
It's made some wonderful things. It keeps that sativa dominance in there. It tastes really good. And Jack the Ripper's always been one of my favorites. So I've got to show some love to Subby. He taught me a lot. Honestly, without Sub's influence, he taught me a lot of what to do. Honestly, taught me a little bit of what not to do. But without Sub's influence, I don't think I would be where I am in the breeding industry today.
It's awesome, man. That's cool to start out the bit of a breeder feature here with that shout out. Of course,
shout out to Subcool.
Of course, though, Grow From Your Heart podcast. If anyone who's listening to my show hasn't checked out Grow From Your Heart, got to check out the podcast. How's it going over there? You do a lot of good stuff. You do some interviews. You do some tutorial stuff. You're putting out a lot of good content there.
Thank you. We recently upgraded to video. I'm doing a video show now. So the show is now on YouTube. I'm really trying to teach the people how to grow simply and effectively.
Nice.
I don't feel like this knowledge is something that should be hoarded. I don't know what you believe in. Everybody knows what I believe in. They call me Rasta Jeff. It's pretty obvious. I'm a Rastafarian. I believe in Rasta. I believe in Jah. But whatever you believe in, that gave me this gift to be able to teach people. And I feel like if I didn't share that, I would be ripping off whatever gave me this gift. It wouldn't be fair.
That's
I feel like it'd be bad karma. So yeah, I'm really trying to teach people how to grow quality medicine or quality cannabis so they can treat themselves. I don't think it should be expensive. I don't think it should be an elitist club. I think we should all be able to do this. So that's my goal. Is teach clearly and get everybody on the same level.
Spread the love.
Exactly.
Can't argue with that message.
Spread the karma.
Cannot argue with that message, man. Absolutely.
Thank
love
you, brother.
It. We're looking to get into video too, so maybe you're going to inspire me to kind of light a fire on my butt. We'll get on YouTube too and get some more great cannabis content up there for people to view, especially during quarantine. I think people appreciate the video more. So yeah, I'm glad that you've taken that plunge, man.
I've gotten a lot of messages from people saying it feels like they have connected with me more deeply now that they can look at me on the show.
Right.
So it definitely brings another aspect to your audience.
And don't you feel that there was a really recent tipping point when it comes to media, like being open in the cannabis space? Like I've always been pretty open, using my real name. Well, Jordan River is my middle name. But my point is, I feel as of really recently, a lot of people have crossed over. A lot of people are saying, okay, I'll come on your video podcast. I'll show my face, whatever it may be. I'll use my real name. Do you feel that too?
It's time to come out of the woodwork. It's not illegal anymore. Why are we hiding? The only reason we were hiding is because of the law. And now the law is not after us. If you're doing things correctly, if you're, doing it right, I'm doing everything legit. So I don't have any reason to hide. And I also feel like customer service is important. If I was hiding my face, you can't trust me. You can see who I am. I'm this tall white guy with dreadlocks. I'm really easy to find. If you come to Colorado, you cannot miss me. I'm giant. I got dreads to my knees. I'm at the booth with an Irie shirt on. I feel like customer service is important. And if I were hiding, you couldn't come talk to me. That means that I've got something to hide.
That's a good point.
So I'm transparent.
Side. Yeah. That's a really good point. But I even think like when I would invite guests on my show, they'd be wary about phone numbers and things like that. I just feel the stigmatization is finally being fully shattered. Maybe it's just because we're inundated in it. We're kind of deep immersed in it. But I don't know. I really do wish for that tipping point.
Yeah, I see it happening. A lot of us were programmed for too many years to hide in the shadows. It was programming. We had to be paranoid. And so it's kind of hard to break that programming.
You're so right.
And a lot of people still think that one day maybe a president or a system may flip and then they've got the list. We're all on that list. I'm not that paranoid guy. I don't think that there is a list, but I don't think they're going to come looking for us or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you can't live your life constrained by those types of fears. Like you got to do what you got to do. Like, I think you probably feel the same way. There are so few growing podcasts out there. And some of the early ones were so lacking in terms of production and just being released regularly and everything that like what we're doing needs to happen. So fuck it. Like we got to do it. That's how I feel. Anyway.
I feel like I said about the gift that I've got from whatever created us to be able to learn and then teach something. If I kept this podcast to myself, it would almost be a crime. It would be karmically wrong. So yeah, I've got to give this out. Nice. I would explode if I didn't put this information out.
That's cool, man. You're driven. You have that kind of that drive. But listen, there's a million ways we could go. I'm sure we're going to be teaming up. We vibe very, very well, you and the whole Growcast crew. But for now, I really want to stick to your genetics and focus on the Irie line. Does that sound good?
That sounds good to me.
Let's start from a more meta perspective. Maybe you can give your background, what got you into breeding specifically, and then lead that into your values as a breeder, what you like to focus on in your work.
Okay, I like that. Like most growers and breeders, I started growing because I wasn't satisfied with the product that was available. There wasn't enough of it. It wasn't very good. It was too expensive. You had to deal with shitty people to get it. And then when you got your herb, you didn't get what you paid for. It was light. You were disappointed. You were mad at your friend. I got tired of that. So I started growing. Growing, you end up with clones or seeds. I wasn't satisfied with the seeds I was buying. I kept buying seeds from Amsterdam or from other places. And I would grow them and I'd be like, man, that was good, but that wasn't amazing. And then I started seeing Like this plant is good on the resin and this one is cool on the flavor. I wonder. And I did what most growers with that kind of passion would do. I crossed them to make my own seeds. And the first cross was pretty impressive. A couple of friends of mine and I really liked that. And I was like, these seeds are better than what I started with. So I'm onto something. The next step obviously was to do it again. Unfortunately, a couple of crosses in, I made a whole bunch of crappy seeds. I chose a male that was terrible. So I had to throw an entire room worth of seeds away. That was a solid learning lesson for me. That's when I realized I have to do more thinking, more planning, more preparation for my breeding. Then I really locked down and put some ideas and thoughts into it. Then I started posting pictures on social media. My intent was to make seeds for myself. But when people saw what I was making, they said, "Hey, can I have some of those?"
Picked up steam on its own.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And when I went to a cannabis cup, I gave away 1,000 packs of seeds for free. If you had grow nutrients in your hand, if you had something that indicated you were going to go home and attempt to grow weed, I gave you seeds.
Holy shit.
So now you've got nutrients, a grow light, and seeds in your hand, and you can go home and set up. So at the next event, people saw me and they were ready to buy seeds from me. And I just went to that event for fun. There was the second Cannabis Cup here in Colorado. I just went to that one for fun. And I realized, I think I need to put together some packages. So I put together packages and started going to events here in Colorado, and people were really loving what I was breeding and putting out. So every event I went to, there were more and more people saying, "Hey, do you have this thing that you posted on Facebook or Instagram or wherever? Do you have this one?" And so I started putting it out. And then they just loved it. I think since I was breeding, and this will kind of segue into the values part. Since I was breeding for myself, I think I was dodging the hype. I was dodging the bullshit. I was dodging marketing ideas. I was just breeding to make quality strains. And since I was doing it from my heart for myself, it was a quality product. I wasn't doing it to sell it. I didn't have that in mind yet.
Right.
So since it was all passion, it was a quality product. I think that passion makes something really good. If we wake up today and say we need to design something to make money, all of our products will suck. If we wake up and say I need to do something from my heart, whatever you do is going to be awesome.
I 100% agree.
And it may not be awesome for everybody, but it will get a niche crowd that thinks it's awesome. And that's all you really need as a seed breeder. If you have your crowd, your crew, you can survive. You could do very well. So I just kept breeding things that I loved, and they took off. People started loving it. And then I started packaging it. And then I got on board with several popular vendors. And now I can't keep up with those vendors. They want seeds every day. So I feel like I was really blessed since I followed my heart and didn't listen to the marketing hype and the internet advice. I think I really took the right path to doing it my way.
So that's a really common theme among successful and, more importantly, happy individuals that I've interviewed, not just in this show, but across all my different productions, is a lot of time people focus on the process of making money, essentially engaging in the free market. And they focus on things like, oh, how can I set up my online store or set up my ClickFunnels correctly? And all of these, like you said, it's more than just marketing, but it's all the processes that are involved. So much so that they can't see the forest through the trees. The people who truly are content and successful, I find a lot of the time, focused more on creating value. That's really what it is when you come down to it. It's creating something that fills a need for someone else and makes their life easier, better, more enjoyable, whatever it may be. Now you're the way you phrased that was very interesting because it was more personal and artistic. It's coming from within you. It's more coming from out of your heart. And I think that's where the need, the drive for filling that need comes from. But that's really the two sides of the coin, is that personal fulfillment, like you said, coming from your heart, but then also filling a need, providing value in one way or another for your fellow human being.
Yeah, like I've said before, I make myself transparent. So if they need advice, if they buy seeds, if anybody buys seeds from me and they ask a question, I try to answer every single email. I do an Instagram live feed where if you ask a question, I answer every single question. So not only am I getting them seeds that will work for them, but I also give them complete guidance on how to grow that seed every step of the way. So they've got the product to grow. They've got the advice to grow it. I teach them how to dry it and cure it.
Oh boy.
And then they send me a message and says, "Hey, it came out like a 7. How can I make it a 9? And then I ask them, "What did you do?" And I find out not where they went wrong, but I mean, where they could have gone better. And so the next time they turn that 7 into an 8 or a 9. And then I've gotten growers that started off at a 4 and they're kicking out 10s now. So that not only is there a product available, but it's part of the community. I feel it's my responsibility to help you out. You've got my stuff. There are so many breeders that once you buy a package of seeds, you'll never hear from them again. They'll
Radio
email
silence.
you every day. Yeah, until that PayPal payment hits, and then done. That's it. They don't respond to you until you say, "Can I have more seeds? Here's more money." But if you ask for guidance or advice or a simple "How you doing?" they don't even open up that email. So I think being part of the community really helps me out a lot. And it's like I keep saying, it's passion. I have to do it, dude. If I didn't do it, something would go wrong.
Something in the universe would be off balance. Before we return to Jeff, shout out to Trimbag. We love Trimbag. One of my favorite partners. Trimbag.com is where you can go. Growcast is the code you can use to receive $30 off your trim bag plus free shipping. That's a good deal. And mygrowpass.com members, which is opening its door June 22nd, receives $50 off their trim bag plus free shipping. Trim Bag, makers of the Trim Bag, and also Bucket Buckers. Have you seen the Bucket Buckers? These are great. These are specific little devices to help you buck off the buds off of your stalks post-harvest pre-trim. You know how you got to buck them down and you got to clip them off to make sure you can hand them off to your trimmer, right? Well, instead, you just kind of slip them in this Bucket Bucker and pull. Boom. It's a really nifty device you can find at trimbag.com. Plus, they have the Trim Bag, which is the bladeless bag trimmer that can trim up to 2 pounds in as little as 5 rotations with the correct dryness. You can take it anywhere, doesn't have any blades that'll mess your buds up, and it's a fraction of the price of a trimming machine. Still does serious volume. Trimbag.com, Growcast for $30 off, plus free shipping. MyGrowPass.com for $50 off the trim bag, free shipping, and so much more. Accepting new members June 22nd and closing our doors a couple weeks after that. All right, let's get back to Rasta Jeff. Let's talk specifics. Let's talk about what's available right now that you think is either very special, is your personal favorite, or more accurately, more specifically, what I want to know best represents what you're trying to do.
Okay. There are a couple of things that really represent my work very well. I make regular and I make feminized seeds.
Nice.
For feminized seeds, I think I am very well known for my lemon Jeffrey. I named it after me. It's gotten really popular. It is a lemon skunk female from Greenhouse Seeds, pollinated by a reversed golden goat. So it's got that island sweet skunk, Hawaiian sativa, also a bunch of lemon flavors in there. It makes tremendous, delicious lemon candy flavors. I say it's kind of like you took a package of lemon heads and dumped out the candies and you smelled the box. It's got that soft, tangy lemon thing going on, or maybe Country Time lemonade powder, real lemony, real candy flavored, almost a lemon sorbet.
Oh, yeah.
It grows very easily. It gets a little bit tall on people, but it veges so quickly that it's worth the rapid growth. It's got a really nice buzz to it. I've got a brain injury, and sometimes I feel like my record skips or my CD in my brain, the CD-ROM just has a little bit of, it's got a thumbprint on it. Yeah. Sometimes you got to take the CD out and wipe the thumbprint off and put it back. I feel like the whatever's in the lemon Jeffrey stops my skip.
Wow.
So instead of my record skipping, I can get it right back on track. And it just makes me more social. It makes me more active. It just puts my brain back where it needs to be. It's got a really nice uplifting daytime buzz. Too much of it will make you a little bit, it's kind of disassociative, I guess. You kind of go into your own little world and kind of zone out.
Sure.
But if you don't get to that level, you can really get some stuff done. It's good daytime herb, keeps me moving.
Damn.
Keeps me functioning well. So that's the lemon Jeffrey. I named that after me because I love it. It's tall and lanky and it smells weird. So it's a lot like me.
So just like you. Yeah.
That's just like me. Yep. And that one is available. That's feminized and it's available. So people can get that one. Then another feminized one that I recently put out that I did not realize was going to be a hit is the orange Gasm. That is a platinum tangy female pollinated by the same reversed golden goat.
Ooh.
It's an amazing plant. It tastes like greasy oranges. It's just orange candy, orange. I can't say the word orange and tangy enough in the flavor description. Yeah, it's just orange punch to the face. That's why I called it orange Gasm, because everybody goes, ooh, when they smoke it and smell it. They make that O face. So it's the orange Gasm. It's platinum tangy and a rise. It's finished in about 60 days. Some will take about 8 weeks. Some will take about 9. But you get that early 60-day finisher, so it doesn't take super long. It's real vigorous. It doesn't need a lot of supports, but it makes giant buds. It doesn't get real tall. It handles heat. It handles stress. That's been a real winner. So those are two of my most popular fems. And of course, I put the golden goat out in femseed. I did not create golden goat. That was done by another person, but I did make fem seeds of it, and I have been using it in a lot of breeding projects. But I have to be clear that I did not create the golden goat. Sure. I don't want that credit.
Sure.
Try to be fair.
So, am I mistaken in thinking that Tangy often has a CBD count that's significant?
I didn't see that in the Tangy that was used in the testing, but some of the offspring has been putting out a little bit of CBD. I just got a report on another Tangy cross, and it does have some CBD in it. So that is a good call. Yes, I think there's CBD somewhere in there.
I want to say that I was picking up a decent, significant amount of CBD in some Tangy when I was out living in Portland. That was really, really good, and wanted to kind of segue that into a question about, do you have any strains that chase any form of ancillary cannabinoids?
I don't do a lot of lab testing. I don't breed for machines.
Sure.
I breed for people to smoke it. But I think there is THCV in my Rocksteady and Double Dragon, because those are bred from the Durban Poison, which is tested with THCV in there.
Nice.
So I'm sure that cannabinoid's going to pass over. I don't work with CBD. A lot of people are hyped up on CBD. That is not for me. CBD messes up my high. I'm smoking to get high and to get red-eyed, and CBD slows that down. I feel like it messes with my dexterity. It makes me a little rubbery. So I don't breed for CBD. I really focus on the high THC sort of stuff is really where I try to focus.
Well, you're going to gain I'm sure there are some fans of all different flavors. So I'm sure someone is saying yes, and they're rushing right now to your Instagram page. This is why I do these breeder features. Everyone has such a vastly different perspective, and the growers identify so clearly with one over the other, and none of them are the correct, there is no correct answer. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I think we're sort of like chefs and musicians. If you like a certain band, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. And There are plenty of other bands out there for you to fall in love with. And some people pick one band and they worship that band, or some people like all kinds of bands. So we're kind of like musicians and chefs, sort of, I think.
You have to listen to reggae, right?
Just a little bit. Yeah, I listen to a lot of reggae, a whole lot of kind of dubby dance hall reggae stuff. I like a lot of roots reggae, but I also listen to a ton of Fish and Grateful Dead.
Nice, cool. Yeah, I need to get into that more. I took a trip down to Jamaica not too long ago. You would have loved it. Have you been?
I was not able to go until just recently. I had some things stopping that, but now I've paid the IRS and I can go.
Oh my God, man, that's going to be great. Grow from your heart from Jamaica.
Yes, man, that'll be a good time, right?
Yeah, as soon as this,
I've got a bed waiting for me.
Yeah,
exactly.
Great. Love it, man. That's fantastic. Yeah, man. All day. Rasta all day. Where did we leave off here? I want to talk about more strains. I feel like, can I bring one up? Do you mind if I bring one up?
Oh, do it, please.
The Blue Raspberry Truffle.
Oh, yeah. That's a winner.
Rhizo Rich is growing out some right now, and I had a taste of his last run of the Blue Raspberry Truffle, and I'm just stunned at the terpenes are so tasty that I cannot stop smoking it. My consumption goes up so much.
I love that.
And I've got a tolerance, so I can smoke as much weed as I want. You know what I mean? And usually if I have a nice organic bud, I'll be fulfilled and I'll put it down. But if it's tasty enough, I pack up another one and another one and another one. And I'll tell you, it's bittersweet, Jeff, because next thing you know, the fucking bag's gone.
You sound a lot like me with concentrates. Now, let's do a little bit of advertising. I'll ask you to describe the flavor of that strain for me.
Oh, so the pheno I'm so bad. Don't put me on the spot like this, man. The flavor that he gave me it had a berry note, obviously. But it was more than just like eating a berry. It was almost like a sugary sweetness. I found like a cake. Am I anywhere close?
I like that.
To that?
You are accurate. If you think that's what it smelled like, that is true. I can't argue with what your nose and mouth said.
So
I love that.
So I was very impressed by that strain. Is that one that's still available?
It is available. That's one of my most popular crosses, and I will keep that one coming for a really long time.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
A lot of people say that my descriptions are a little bit crazy. That's why I was asking you to give a description, just because that shows that I'm not just getting stoned and reading a dictionary looking for descriptive words.
I need to get better. I mean, listen, man, it's a whole art, right? I'll tell you what's really blowing my mind, Jeff, is working in coffee and speaking with Ildi Revi and the complexities that these cuppers are into. And it's the same exact thing with cannabis. I see you and I see Terp Fiend describing these complex experiences, right? And you have to do that. I almost feel like we need to bring some uniformity, some sort of standardized. There's standardized lingo for coffee. There's words that mean things. You know what I mean? That describe flavor and mouthfeel, and it's kind of standardized. Don't you feel like we need to bring that to cannabis a little bit? Or maybe not. I don't know.
I think I've been trying. I think that's kind of accidentally what I think I've been trying to do. I really think it's just when I taste something, I just think in my mouth, it's familiarity. I go, oh, like I think taste and smells are very familiar. They store in your brain really well.
Yep.
And so I can smell something and I can time travel back to like 5th grade and Miss Whatever's class, that one rug that smelled funky. Like my brain keeps odors in my brain like that forever.
That's
so
incredible.
When I taste and smell, I've got a nice Rolodex of options to go through. And I go, well, it's got that sour, but is it like that candy sour or is it like rotten sour?
Yes.
And so then I have to go, is it lemons or it fermented? And that's the way my brain breaks it down. So I've got a really nice, I guess, a glossary of aromas in my head to choose from. I really keep smells and flavors in my brain really easily. They trigger a lot of things.
Nice. Yeah, I hope I was. I remember when Rich gave me that bag, there was a bunch of different buds. So I hope I was correct there.
Absolutely. And you kept going back for more. So that means a lot. 'Cause I'm sure you've got selection to choose from.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I mean, on a good day for sure. Let's put it that way. Even out here in Illinois, there's good selection to choose from. Probably not what you got out there in Colorado, of course, but
oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're showing off out here.
Yeah, you and your concentrates in Colorado, man. Love it. Let's see here, man. Let's jump into listener questions. A bunch of people commented when we said you were coming on, and we got a couple fans with a couple questions. Can I fire them at you?
Please do.
Okay. I just picked up on one that I did not see here. And this is something that someone could probably research themselves, but I don't know. I'd like you to answer it because you're Rasta Jeff. Someone wants some detailed definitions of exactly what we were talking about, except in the sense of breeding lingo. A detailed definition of F2s, BXs, and S1s.
Okay. That could take a minute, but I'll try to be really quick and concise. The F stands for filial generation. So if it's F1, F2, F3, that means how many generations we have taken it. So the first time I take new parents, if I take plant A and plant B and cross them and make plant C, that is plant C F1. So if I take seeds from plant C and I find a boy and a girl out of that batch and I cross those will make, excuse me, that's from the dads, that will make F2s.
Right.
So if I select seeds from the F2s, a male and a female, and cross those, that will make F3. Then we keep going with that process until about F5, F6. Then all of the seeds will start coming out looking like clones if we did our selections correctly. So you've got to pick
Meaning
for the
uniform.
traits. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They'll all look very uniform if we pick parent plants that have the appropriate traits in each generation.
Interesting.
So now we've moved forward and we've solidified that strain to look very uniform from every seed. So those are Fs, F1, F2.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think you said a BX was the next question.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll use golden goat as an example because there is not a male golden goat plant available, but there is a female. People want regular seeds, non-feminized seeds of the golden goat. The only way to do that is to pollinate golden goat with something. But at that point, we have adulterated the golden goat genetics, so it is no longer golden goat. We have now made either an F1 or a polyhybrid. So I will take a male plant and pollinate my golden goat. Then I will grow out those seeds, and I'll find one that looks a male that looks exactly like the golden goat. So now I can put that male golden goat phenotype back onto the female golden goat, and I will make very golden goat looking plants if I did my selection carefully.
Interesting.
And that is a back cross because I've back crossed the golden goat to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got some adulteration to it because I did have to use a different male to create that golden goat looking phenotype.
Interesting. Okay. I never quite had that piece right there of the back cross process. And then finally, selfing.
Selfing. That is, there are two different things we can do with selfing. Selfing is if I take we'll use my golden goat again because I do this with the golden goat. I'll take a golden goat female plant and I will cut 2 clones. When those clones are big enough, I will treat one with a solution called silver thiosulfate. It is treated multiple times at very specific dilutions and intervals. I will treat that plant that will cause that plant to produce pollen sacs. The plant does not become a hermaphrodite. It drives me crazy when people say it hermaphrodites. It does not. That's a totally different thing.
Oh,
this plant is not a hermaphrodite.
Good distinction. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Yes. A hermaphrodite is a hermaphrodite. This is a female that has been reversed. It's been stress tested to where it doesn't have herm traits. It will not hermaphrodite on me under stress.
Okay.
So I'm reversing it. It now produces pollen. Since there are no male chromosomes in that plant, I apply that pollen to the golden goat female, and it makes all female seeds.
Whoa.
Basically, we have filtered out all of the male pollen. So that is selfing. I have selfed the golden goat. Basically, it screwed itself. That's why we're calling it selfing. It gave itself a selfie.
But I did never put that together. I never understood the lack of the male chromosome and the female pollen being applied to a female plant equaling feminized seeds. Again,
yes, sir. All females.
I knew all of this on a base level, but when you explained it like that, even I am learning new things in this interview. So that's awesome, man. This leads nicely into the next question. Someone's asking, well, the way they phrased it is, do people breed anything past F1 and F2? Recently, Terpfiend was on, and he explained, in his opinion, why people usually stick to those early generations. Maybe you can talk about why you may or may not want to breed past an F1 or an F2.
There are a lot of pros and cons of breeding past F1s and F2s. I find that since I've chosen solid genetics and solid breeding parents, my F1s come out pretty uniform. My phenotype variation is kind of minimized because I've chosen solid parents. If I wanted to lock in specific traits and get more uniform seeds, I could breed to the F3 level. F2, you kind of open up more variation. F3, you start locking it in. F4, you really lock it in. By F5, you're getting a lot of solidified traits. I like the variation. I like doing the pheno hunt. It's kind of like getting a pack of baseball cards. I know I've got Strawberry Starburst, but am I going to get the tall one, the short one, the lanky one, the sweet one, or the funky smelling one? And for your grow, you might want the short one. For my grow, I can handle that tall one. I've got Gavita lights and 20-foot ceilings. So we're going to want a little bit of variation, and I kind of like that. I do have a Rise F2s. I do have a Rise F3s that I've never put out for anybody yet. I'm still playing with those. They don't show as much variation, but they're very uniform and very reliable, and I really like what they're doing. But if somebody wanted to breed with it, they don't have as much room. That's going to be very dominant. That Arise trait is just going to dominate everything when you breed with it because it's the F3. It's got that genetics really locked in.
Wow.
So yeah, and it takes a lot of time and selection to make those F generations. If you're doing it correctly, it's about a year per F. And then it takes me another year to do testing before I can get anything out. So by the time I've made it and tested it, it's going to be another year before I can put it to market. So there are things that people haven't seen yet. There are F2s and F3s, but I really enjoy the F1s. I think King Solomon makes some amazing stuff. And when I'm making fem seeds, when you start going a little bit further, the genetics get a little bit, they either get amazing or they get mutanty and get kind of weird. They start getting weaker. There's something I should also touch on. We were talking about fem seeds and reversals or selfing. I want to cover reversals in that. Selfing is if I put the pollen on the same plant. Reversal would be if I put that feminized pollen on any other cultivar. So if I put golden goat pollen on anything else, that's known as a reversal, and that's an R1. So that's when I said there were two ways.
How come
to do
I never see
seeds.
that? I rarely see that.
Because a lot of breeders aren't super savvy on labeling, and they don't pay as much attention to the technical stuff as they possibly could.
So I am seeing it, but it just doesn't have R on it like it maybe should.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I don't think I put R1 on my packaging. If I put Golden Goat to Lemon Jeffrey, I don't know that it even says R1. It just says Lemon Jeffrey to Golden Goat.
I never would have thought that the application of that feminized pollen to a different plant would require a different. I mean, it makes sense that it would maybe point to a different letter there, a different name.
I think some of us are doing it just for documentation purposes. I feel like I'm kind of a cannabis historian. It's kind of my responsibility to make sure that this section of Colorado cannabis history is accurate, because every time a story goes from one mouth to an ear to a mouth to an ear, a detail changes. And I really want to keep it accurate. I've kind of got some OCD on accurate labeling and details.
Man, well, that's good to be in your line of work then. So if I'm understanding correctly, also, if you're going past F4, F5, and even beyond, is there so much inbreeding that occurs that eventually, like you said, you're going to start to see some weirdness and you're going to start to see some, just like with any other genetic pool?
I think if you've done your selections correctly, when you're doing filial generations, I think you're going to improve if you've done your selections correctly. The weirdness comes up when we're doing feminized stuff and back crossing.
Oh, wow.
That's when you start seeing, that's when you get, and I'm going to excuse my crassness, but when you start doing cousin fucking, things get kind of weird.
That's exactly what I was kind of thinking. If it's the same plant, the seeds from the same plant, that's a, familial relation there. Interesting though. Very interesting.
Yeah. It doesn't work like people when you're doing brothers and sisters down the line, but it does when you start doing other like feminized and cousin stuff.
Whoa. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I'm really excited to not only continue these Breeder Future episode series, but work with Rich on his breeding. And do you encourage anyone who do you not look down on the phrase pollen chucker, for instance?
Oh no, I was a pollen chucker in the beginning. I'm still a pollen chucker. I'm just over here throwing pollen around, having a good time, loving life.
I thought you were going to say that.
I think if you've got a good, I think everybody needs a plan if you're going to breed. Like have an idea. Don't just put 2 plants in a room and think you're going to make seeds. You will, but are they going to be worth a shit? Your goal is to make something better than the 2 parents you started with. So if you've got 2 6s, make an 8.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got 2 8s, you better make an 11. Or if you've got a 5 and a 9, you better at least come out with like a solid 9 again or something. I don't know. But there's got to be a reason why you're breeding them.
Sure.
You shouldn't just be doing it to make a seed company to make some money. That's bullshit.
Oh, love it, man. I love that take. Someone writes here, what makes Lemon Jeffrey distinct from all the other lemon strains out there? It's a good question.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's well worded right there.
It's kind of a softer lemon sorbet instead of that sour, sharp, like lemon diesel sort of a thing. I would consider that a sharper, more astringent lemon. This is a softer country time lemonade. Just softer lemons is the best way my brain thinks of describing it.
Like
sorbet,
a ripe lemon?
Okay. More lemon cake instead of lemon peel.
I like it.
It doesn't make your face wrinkle so much. It makes you go, ooh, that's lemon and tasty.
Yes. The lemon flavor.
Yeah, no pucker to it.
No bitter.
Yeah.
The sweet lemon. That's what I'm all about, man.
I love it. It's really, the concentrates are so good. They don't last. If I get some concentrates of that, they're the first to go every time.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Someone wants to know what your most sedative strain is. He claims that you always talk about the sativas.
I am a sativa guy. I'm go. I'm trying to stay energized. I'm trying to stay high as shit all day long. So I do love the sativas. If you were looking for something more sedative, more indica heavy from my line, I would recommend the double dose. That's Do-si-do to arise. It makes some big black leaves, some purple buds. It smells like it's got some coffee flavors and aromas in there. So you may really like that one.
Ooh, yes, please.
But the double dose, it'll sit you down. It may put you on your butt. Some of my older stuff, the Liberation OG and Hellfire OG were very indica heavy, but I don't know if they're available anywhere right now. They may be sold out at most places.
I see.
But the double dose is readily available at seedsherenow.com.
Yeah, double dose. That sounds good to me, man. I love those dark plants. I mean, when people were breeding back in the day, it was just THC potency was all anyone was after. And there are even still legal markets that are so concerned with this THC number. Then you see so much shift on, focusing on flavors, on terpenes. I mean, I'm looking at plants now in my little personal garden, and I'm looking at aesthetics a lot of the time. I want to grow some plants with some interesting physical, visual, aesthetic properties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As a breeder, we call that selecting for Instagram.
So I want to select for Instagram, but also for not just for my Instagram, but for my own viewing experience. I would love the day when cannabis is considered a household flower like any other. That's what I would like.
Wouldn't it be great? You could just come over and there are just a couple of herb plants in the corner and you can walk over and stare at them and smile at them. Your plants look really good, bro. Thank you, bro. You should come see mine next time. And then you go to your buddy's house and he's got his herb plants in the corner and we just smile. It's like a fish tank. You don't have to hide it or anything.
Hey, you can smoke those, right? And some of these flowers are so pretty that, but I am a big fan of those, bringing it back around. I'm a big fan of those dark strains with those dark leaves. Shouting out to Subcool again, Quirkle. I had a
Yeah.
great Quirkle that was nice and purple, but the leaves turned this dark, lush green, almost black.
I love those black leaves. And I used to look on Instagram for the Black Leaf Society hashtag, and I love those photos. They were always beautiful. There's a lot of cookie crosses.
Oh, cookies. Oh, interesting. They have a dark leaf. I never grew cookies myself.
Oh yeah, if you do cookies right, get a nice low pH and get it cold, you'll get some black leaves toward the ends.
Nice. Interesting stuff, man. Anything else you want to update us on here, Jeff? Anything going on in your world before we wrap it up? Obviously, everyone needs to check out Irie Genetics. Where can they find Irie Genetics and Grow From Your Heart?
They can find Irie Genetics are available at seedsherenow.com. You can use coupon code GFYH10 and you'll save 10% off your full order. The Grow From Your Heart podcast is available on, I would recommend YouTube first so you can check out the video. It's also on Apple Podcast. It is now on Spotify. We're on Stitcher Radio. The show is just about anywhere where you can find a quality podcast. And if anybody has questions, they can always email me. It's iriegenetics@hotmail.com. I do my best to answer all of the questions I get.
Nice, man. Any final words for the Growcast audience? Any advice to all the growers out there listening?
We give a lot of advice. We have a lot of monitors. We have a lot of equipment. There's a lot of shit on the internet telling you what to do and what not to do. The most important thing is to have fun in the grow. Enjoy it. Grow from your heart. Don't worry about all the bullshit. Don't worry about drama. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about your ego. Grow from your heart. The plants will reflect what you put into them.
I love that message, man. Interestingly enough, I tell the same thing to people who are getting into poker when I'm consulting people on poker, and they look at you crazy because people want to grow weed so they don't have to pay to smoke it. People want to grow weed sometimes to make money. Same thing with poker, get in to make money. It's like, no, it's about the game. It's about the process. It's about the journey, not the destination. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Except we're never going to lose when we're growing weed.
Exactly. That's the difference. Is you can't get, you don't get the bad luck. Well, that's not exactly true either. But
that's true.
I know what you're saying, Jeff. Listen, buddy, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for spending this time with my audience. I'd love to return the favor anytime. Anything we can do for you, you let us know. Okay.
You too, my friend. Thank you.
Awesome. Everyone listening, you know what to do. At Growcast on Instagram. Check us out, growcastpodcast.com/action to see everything that's going on. And we'll talk to you later, everyone. Be safe out there. Be extra safe and grow smarter. That's our show. Thank you all for listening. A quick message to the members. Our Ask Me Anything live stream we do monthly for the members fell on July 4th, so we pushed it back a week. On July 11th, you can now get in on that Ask Me Anything live stream. Come and hang out with us. And remember, we're opening our doors for Grow Pass. So if you want to get on these Zoom live streams with the members, join up. June 22nd, we open our doors. Quick shout out to Canna Planners. Many guests and listeners write us and ask us where they can get a website for their cannabis business, how they can get solutions, tech solutions for their cannabis business, SEO solutions. Cannaplanners.com for your business, for your personal influencer page, whatever you got. Very challenging to do the cannabis industry when it comes to SEO and things like that. Cannaplanners.com is the solution for you. Website solutions, everything you need. Tell them Growcast sent you. Thank you to Start to Finish Consulting. Start the number 2, Finish 710 on Instagram for all your consulting needs. Thank you all. Hope you're doing amazing things. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.